Andrea Schruijer of the Great Promise Partnership gives an update about how the program is developing in Valdosta. Andrea Schruijer of the Valdosta-Lowndes Development Authority joins me in the studio to discuss the organization's plans for 2015. Engineering Project Manager Kevin Tolliver gives details on the street repaving efforts throughout Valdosta. And we show you how the fire department is using new technology to increase its effectiveness. These stories and more on this edition of City Focus. Welcome to City Focus. I'm Michael Hokanson, Media Coordinator for the City of Valdosta. Last year, City Focus brought you a story about the Great Promise Partnership, a nonprofit group that partners with schools and businesses to help at-risk students graduate through job placement. The organization also helps these students prepare to take on jobs after leaving the classroom by providing mentors and teaching the kids employability skills. In October, the organization's president and CEO, Mike Beatty, visited Valdosta and spoke to business owners and members of the community about the program and what they can do to help. 3 months later, I spoke with Andrea Schruijer, a coordinator with the Great Promise Partnership, about how well the program is doing in Valdosta and its plans for the future.
Since we last spoke, the most exciting news I get to share with everyone is we have hired a South Georgia coordinator. Ms. Devaki Gordon is coming to us from the Department of Corrections, and so she is going to focus exclusively on South Georgia. So we're really excited because there are a lot of potential employers in Valdosta, and this increases our capacity to work with those employers and find more jobs for students. So we're also currently talking with 2 employers about possibly hiring students for the spring. So I don't want to give those names yet because we haven't finalized those agreements, but we're hoping that we'll have jobs by March for some students and hopefully some more by the summer as well. We're also working with other partners, local technical schools and the Industrial Authority and some of our other partners here in the local government to find additional employers for students so that hopefully we'll have even more jobs for the fall. So specifically the first goal that we have is finding employment for our students. That's kind of our first stepping stone. You know, ultimately we want to work with the community to provide more resources for students that are at risk of not graduating from high school and also for low-income students. So for us that really means working with the community as a whole. We don't want to duplicate services, so reaching out to other partners that have similar programs or initiatives as we do, so we're not reinventing the wheel. So really we just want to get to know everyone in the Valdosta community, work with existing partners such as youth development organizations, technical school, Valdosta State University, and really just kind of become part of the Valdosta community to really, hopefully our initiative will take hold and grow. So we're starting small, but we do hope to have jobs for students this spring, and then not this spring, then this summer. And then going from there, you know, we really just hope to become part of the school and provide opportunities for students going forward for years to come. And hopefully it'll end up to be a noticeable increase in high school graduation rates. So it'll probably take a while because it takes a lot of students to really kind of have those numbers increase. But if we can make the difference for one student, we hope we can do that here in Valdosta. I think just we are always looking for employers, so we are following up. We had a lot of interest from our event last fall, so we are still following up with some of those, but if anyone hasn't yet contacted us, we'd love to hear from you. We're always looking for anyone that's willing to give a student an opportunity to work on lots of different fields. You know, we work with manufacturing companies, offices, local government, so we're really looking for a wide variety of opportunities for our students. And if there's any youth development organizations or nonprofit organizations, we're happy to talk to you and also see how we can collaborate so we're not duplicating services that already might be in the community.
For more information, visit Great Promise Partnership's website at gppartnership.org. There you can find ways to get involved, whether you're a business, a school, or just an individual wishing to volunteer or make a donation. Citizens are invited to participate in the 7th Annual Valdosta People's Choice Photo Contest. Photos should be submitted either by mail or in person by May 29th to the Annette Howell Turner Center for the Arts in order to be entered into the competition. All entries will be displayed at the Turner Center for the Arts throughout the months of June and July for visitors of the center to view the submissions and vote for their favorite photos. For more information about this event, call the Annette Howell Turner Center for the Arts at 229-247-2787 or the city's Public Information Office at 229-259-3548. Applications may also be downloaded from valdostacity.com/publicinformation. In the previous episode of City Focus, we gave you the details on 2 essay contests for students in Valdosta and the surrounding areas. The Mayor's Council for People with Disabilities is still accepting submissions from high school juniors and seniors. Students' essays should challenge misconceptions of disabilities while focusing on the theme of expect, employ, empower. Essays should be submitted by March 1st to Valdosta Mayor's Council for People with Disabilities Journalism Essay Contest, P.O. Box 5814, Valdosta, Georgia. For more information on this contest, contact Margaret Duncan at 229-245-2498 or at mlduncan@valdosta.edu. The second ongoing essay contest is for our younger students. 6th graders are encouraged to compete in the If I Were Mayor essay contest, sponsored by the City of Valdosta and the Georgia Municipal Association. Students should combine their knowledge of creative writing and civics to detail how they would make a difference as mayor. 6th graders from public, private, and home schools should submit entries by March 6th to the City of Valdosta Public Information Office, If I Were Mayor Essay Contest, 300 North Lee Street, number 102, Valdosta, Georgia, 31601. Contest entry forms can be found on valdostacity.com/publicinformation. For additional information, contact the Public Information Division at 229-259-3548 or at smatthews@valdostacity.com. And stay tuned to City Focus, because after the break, I'll be joined with Andrea Schruijer of the Valdosta-Lowndes Development Authority. Stick around, you're watching City Focus.
In 1977, in Johannesburg, South Africa, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. By the age of 9, he was already outplaying him. The odds of this gentle lad winning the Junior World Golf Championships at the age of 14, 1 in 16 million. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the Open Championship once and the US Open Championship twice, 1 in 780 million. The odds of this professional golfer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much gas you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Welcome back to City Focus here on Metro 17. Today I'm joined by Andrea Schruijer, Executive Director of the Valdosta-Lowndes Development Authority. Ms. Schruijer, thank you for being with us. And To start off, can you give us some background about the Valdosta-Lowndes Development Authority?
Sure, I would be happy to. The Valdosta-Lowndes County Development Authority was currently named, or in the past, named Valdosta-Lowndes Industrial Authority. And because of the change in economic development and what we do and the different things that we focus on, the board thought that it would be more forward-thinking for us to move our name to Valdosta-Lowndes County Development Authority. But we've been in existence since 1960, a long time here in the community, and it was established to help businesses purchase land, to finance their deals, and to help offset some of the cost of getting their businesses started. And it's transitioned over a long period of time to where we also talk about resources. We help with still the financing and the traditional economic development financing toolbox, but we also try to look outside of the box and be creative and offer resources to our businesses as well.
Okay. And I know that you met recently with the mayor and city council at their annual retreat, and you gave a presentation. What are some of the topics that you touched on during that presentation?
Well, we talked a lot about existing industry and the success that we've had with them in 2014. We talked about prospect development and what we're doing to help grow that list of prospects. We also talked about marketing our community internally and externally, hence why we're here. And then we also talked about our recruitment efforts outside of, or partnership with our region and their regional efforts. And then we talked about a couple of non-traditional economic development items.
And I guess one of those non-traditional ones was the film industry.
Yes.
And we know that that's big in North Georgia right now. What are some of the things that the Valdosta-Lowndes Development Authority is thinking about to sort of bring that industry more towards Valdosta and help create the jobs that they've brought to North Georgia?
Well, the film industry is definitely a non-traditional target market, and it's fairly new. I mean, it's been in the state of Georgia for a long time, but over the last few years, we've really seen the state of Georgia leap up into the top 1 to 3. They're actually third in the nation for film currently. So we've surpassed New York, and so it's California, Louisiana, and Georgia that are the top 3.
That's
so it's
impressive.
it's exciting, yeah. And so we actually saw it used to be about a $2 billion industry for the state of Georgia, and in the last few years, and I guess in 2014, the economic impact was $5.1 billion in the state of Georgia. So a huge amount of growth. And, you know, the jobs that come along with that are high-tech jobs or high-wage jobs that come with that. So it's a good industry. It's non-traditional, but a community still has to think towards developing product, developing workforce for these individuals, as well as making sure that they have their permitting and zoning areas down to offer for an ease of business here in the community.
Okay. And in addition to the film industry, going back to your presentation, what are some of the things that you talked about? What does that mean for Valdosta in the future, and not just 2015, but in the coming years?
Well, a lot of what we also talked about, without highlighting, you know, we talked about existing industries, we talked about prospect development, but most importantly, we talked about how we need the city's partnership as well as the county's partnership in developing infrastructure. So transportation network is huge. I know that's on the agenda for the Georgia legislative session that we're in right now, but that's a huge issue for our industries to make sure that they can move their product fast and efficient. We also talked about, you know, water and sewer and making sure that those things are in place for when businesses come. We have the capacity on the line and the ability to take care of their needs. And just funding as it relates to moving forward in the future. We talked a little bit about our budget as well and how that works out.
Okay. And just to leave it open-ended here, is there any topic that we haven't talked about that you'd like the community to be aware of?
I would say one thing that I think our community should be really proud of is our existing industries and what the economic impact that they've had on our community. This year alone, just, you know, always from a historical perspective, but from an existing industry, our existing industries created about 700 jobs this year, and we made several different announcements with them. So existing industries compete just as much for that expansion, the capital investment, and job growth as a new industry. And what we look at is we make a huge capital investment into getting them here, And we want to maintain that capital investment so that we maximize our ROI in the future. So I guess I didn't really answer your question about what does it mean for vision-wise. It's making sure that when we're recruiting, we've got product. Our existing industries are thriving, they're healthy. When those new companies looking can call and they have a good story to tell. And so it just means hopefully more opportunities in the future for us to continue growing.
That's always something that's positive to look for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And if you're looking for more information about the Valdosta-Lowndes Development Authority, make sure to visit their website at buildlowndes.com. And stay here on Metro 17. City Focus will return right after this short break.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who do something, the people who take action, are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Welcome back to City Focus. On January 20th, Valdosta began resurfacing over 2.5 miles of streets using funds provided by the state's Department of Transportation Local Maintenance and Improvement Grant and SPLOST 7.
Well, the ultimate goal of the project is to fix chronic repair problems that need to be repaired. Most of the time we're going to be replacing some stone underneath that's supporting the road. Then we're going to put new asphalt on top. People who aren't in the business really don't know that paving, it costs a lot of money. Of course, asphalt is tied to the petroleum prices, and then we're depending on rock and other things. So it costs a lot of money to you know, we're also influencing what's underneath the roads too in terms of pipes and things. So and putting in curb. So it's really expensive. So we're getting it a little bit at a time. There's a lot of different factors that we're making the city better in terms of quality of life, in terms of the smoothness of ride. You know, it's not just citizens, it's also people who visit the city, and you know, smoother ride would make them want to tend to visit more in the future.
The resurfacing work will be more than just making sure the roads provide a smooth ride. Work will also consist of repairing gutters, curbs, and bases, milling of existing asphalt, root removal, and other related work. Drivers are urged to remain careful around construction areas and be aware of traffic warning signs. While work is underway, some streets may be closed during the day.
No doubt there will be some inconvenience, some lane shifting, but I'd say that if they would put up with these short-term inconveniences, the long-term ride will make up for it. The long-term benefits will make up for it.
To view the LMIG 2015 map showing where repaving will be done, visit the project's news and updates page on the Engineering Department's page at valdostacity.com. For additional information, contact the Engineering Department at 229-259-3530. Here on Metro 17, you can see many jobs available in Georgia via Georgia Job TV. However, there has been some confusion on how businesses can list open positions on the program. Businesses in Valdosta and Lowndes County can contact the Valdosta Career Center at 229-333-5211 and ask to have a job listed with the Department of Labor. A representative will then get the position listed on Job TV. You should then expect a call back providing you with a job number used as a reference point on Job TV and on the Department of Labor website. To find additional information on the Georgia Department of Labor or to find and apply for jobs, visit the Department of Labor website at dol.state.ga.us. This month, the City of Valdosta's Neighborhood Development Division began collecting information for the 2015 Georgia Homeless Count. This is part of a statewide initiative coordinated by the Georgia Department of Community Affairs to determine the number of individuals and families without homes in Georgia. The Neighborhood Development Division will be working alongside several local nonprofit and social service groups to provide information on people's housing status in Valdosta and the surrounding area. The count focused on the night of January 26th and will continue through February 3rd. Local citizens helped as well. Donations of a variety of items from cold weather clothing to travel-sized toiletries were collected for care packages delivered on the night of January 26. For more information about the 2015 Georgia Homeless Count, contact the City of Valdosta Neighborhood Development Division at 229-671-3617. In addition to coordinating the local homeless count, the Neighborhood Development Division is reaching out to the people of Valdosta by conducting an online survey. This survey makes it possible for citizens to offer their opinions on the city's consolidated plan for the Department of Housing and Urban Development's Community Block Grant Program. For more information on the survey, I spoke with Vanessa Flukas of the Valdosta's Neighborhood Development Division.
Every 5 years, since the City of Valdosta is an entitlement community, we received the Community Development Block Grant from HUD, which is the Department of Housing and Urban Development. And one of the requirements for us receiving a yearly allotment from the Community Development Block Grant is that every 5 years we must do what is called a consolidated plan. The consolidated plan is nothing more than a strategic plan for 5 years out. So right now we're in the process of doing our consolidated plan for the year 2015 to the year 2020. What this does is enables the city to sit down and figure out exactly how we would like to have those allotments utilized within our city. And we have to give this plan to HUD, and they review it, and they make sure that when we submit our annual plans, which is our annual action plan and our CAPER, that they coincide with our consolidated plan. As I said, it's nothing more than a strategic plan. And what it does is it allows us to sit down and to look and see exactly where we want to focus our yearly allotment. So currently, for the last 5 years, the city has been concentrating on housing. They made a goal of trying to eliminate substandard housing by the year 2020 in the city of Valdosta. It was a great goal, and we've tried our best to eliminate as much as we could, but it was something that was kind of insurmountable for us, and we knew that we need to now look at still continuing with housing, but to also look at some of the other areas in which we need to address in our city. For each report that we do for HUD, be it our annual action plan, our consolidated plan, our CAPER, we have to have public input. And we have a public forum for each report, and we have a period in which once the report is completed for the public's input. This year we're trying to think outside of the box because over the past couple years we've had very little public participation. And just to move with the times and social media and such, we were thinking that maybe we may have more participation if we put the survey out where people utilize, which is on the internet. So the survey is now on our website and will be there until March 15th in order for people, regardless of where you are, you could be in the library, you could be in your home, in your car, on your cell phone, you can complete the survey and let us know exactly how you feel.
We encourage all of Valdosta's citizens to fill out the short 13-question survey at valdostacity.com before the deadline of March 15th. Select the Neighborhood Development Division page from the Departments menu. On the following page, find the public notice. Simply click on the link to go to the survey and complete the questions. All participants will remain anonymous. In addition to the online survey, citizens may send their comments to the Neighborhood Development Office via mail or email. For more information, call the Neighborhood Development Division at 229-671-3617. Coming up after the break, we'll give you a look at how the Valdosta Fire Department is adopting new technology to make their job a bit easier. Stick around, you're watching City Focus.
Hey, my name's Katie and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student, and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. And everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie, if you want me to, like, you know, do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
The Valdosta Fire Department has upgraded each of its fire trucks by adding a piece of technology that will make firefighters' jobs a bit easier. Each engine and aerial truck has now been outfitted with its own iPad and MiFi pack that will allow for remote access to station computers while on the road and responding to calls. This new equipment provides an easy access point to a variety of necessary information, from building pre-plans to the locations of fire hydrants throughout the city. I visited the Valdosta Fire Department to learn more about how these devices will assist the city's firefighters.
As we advance with technology and everything in the fire service, it's always advancing, getting better and everything. We were behind as far as technology in the truck, and we added the iPads and the MiFi pack so we had access to the internet when we were on scene or around town. We have the capabilities of doing fire reports. One of the big things that the guys like is going around and doing servicing and flowing the hydrants. They're able to enter that information right in the truck while they're doing it live instead of putting it on paper and coming back and then entering it in the computer. So it's time effective. It's also cost effective because now we're not using as much paper because we're going more towards a paperless type system with the iPads that are in the truck. The greatest things with it is we have the ArcGIS system that's in the truck, which is a mapping system that we have in there, and incorporated in that is every city hydrant in Valdosta, along with every city business pre-plan. A pre-plan is a floor plan, emergency contact information, basic hazards for that business, stuff like that. All that stuff is now is right at our fingertips on the iPad. We're able to see where the hydrant's at when we're going to a fire call, so we know where our water supply is coming from. Kind of gives us more of a size up before we even get there. The pre-plans are the same way. We can look up the business, we can get emergency contact number if we need to gain access, and we can call them right from the truck. The iPads are all set up with their own Apple account, own email, so they're able to FaceTime, both video and audio, contact each truck or anybody with an Apple device. They're also able to send text messages and stuff like that from truck to truck. So we now have an extra communications within the truck, not just relying on personal phones or radios. So if something goes down, we've got now 2 backups instead of just 1. Biggest things we using out of these things is just more efficiency. We'll be able to do our jobs quicker. A lot of stuff. Some scenes we go to, we could be there for several hours. The lieutenant on the truck would have access to his computer at the station, so he could do paperwork right in the truck instead of having to come back and do it when he gets back at the station. He can do his fire report there. He can do all his training right from the truck. Anything he needs to do, he has full access to his computer at the station from the truck. It's just a better deal all the way around. It's a win-win. We benefit from the added technology and the ease of information that we can gain on scene. And the community gains from a lower cost as far as printer cartridges, paper, pens, pencils, stuff that we would have to normally do manually. We now can do all electronic on the truck at the scene if that's what required for us to do. the guys love it. So, and as they use it more and more, they'll, I think they're going to like it even more as they get more familiar with the systems and what they're capable of doing.
The Valdosta-Lowndes Metropolitan Planning Organization would like to hear from you about their public participation plan. Due to federal regulation, the VLMPO must give the public details on its strategies to update its participation plan for the Valdosta Metropolitan Planning Area, which includes Lowndes County and parts of Brooks, Berrien, and Lanier counties. For more information, I spoke with Corey Hall, the MPO coordinator of the Southern Georgia Regional Commission.
The participation plan is a federally required document for all metropolitan planning organizations to have. It is a document that outlines how the Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, will engage the public as we conduct our transportation planning efforts, and how we will carry out that engagement. We identify various strategies to carry that out, but we also discuss in our participation plan our response to Title VI complaints, Civil Rights Act complaints, things like that, but also how we will respond to individuals who request documents in another language through our limited English assistance plan, how we will engage the public on all those fronts. This plan really means for the community is ways that the Metropolitan Planning Organization will be engaging the public. We expect that this plan will help inform the community as to how they can engage in transportation planning in the future. We can only go so far. We have to have members of the public come and meet us halfway. We don't know what they want in their future transportation planning, transportation needs. So we were going to say, this is what we're going to do. We want you to come meet us halfway, whether that's at a public meeting, at an open house, whether it's reading our newsletter, engaging with us on social media, multiple venues and multiple things that we do and have the opportunity to do in the future, depending on what future transportation planning efforts we undertake. The participation plan, it will be implemented in the day-to-day activities that the MPO does. So that engagement and outreach of going through our social media every day, that is implementing our participation plan. We really would like to have the public engage us and comment or ask us questions on those various social media sites, but those are things that we do. We engage the public in those ways. We will host various public meetings throughout the next several years. We will do newsletters. We may do some surveys. It just depends on what comes up and what the needs are of that particular transportation planning effort or that particular project.
To view the public participation plan, visit the VLMPO website at sgr.us/transportation. The plan can also be viewed at all public libraries and government administration buildings in Lowndes, Brooks, Berrien, and Lanier counties. To submit comments about the plan, send them via email to chull@sgrc.us or by mailing them to VLMPO 327 West Savannah Avenue. For more information, call Corey Hall at 229-333-5277. Citizens interested in participating in the 6th Annual Valdosta Government 101 Citizens Orientation Program are encouraged to get their applications in before the deadline of March 20th. The program will begin on April 6th and meet 6 consecutive Mondays from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. The program will explore the various departments of the city through presentations about engineering, public works, industrial and economic development, and more. Application forms are available at Valdosta City Hall, the Customer Service Center, or the Public Information Office, or you can download an application from valdostacity.com/publicinformation. Completed applications should be returned to the Public Information Office, Valdosta City Hall Annex, 300 North Lee Street, Room 102, by the March 20th deadline. For more information, contact Public Information Officer Samantha Matthews at 229-259-3548. And with that, we come to the end of this episode of City Focus. Be sure to visit our website at valdostacity.com/metro17 to view this and previous episodes of the show. And make sure you keep updated on everything going on in the city. Follow us on Twitter at City of Valdosta and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Metro 17 Valdosta. Be sure to stay connected to Metro 17, your station for news and information, for more great programming. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to you joining us next time here on City Focus.